So in today's video, we'll be looking at the Nubia V70 Max, which is their latest budget smartphone. And this thing comes in under 400 ringgit. It's only 399 ringgit to be precise. And you can find it going on for much lower on e-commerce platforms like Shopee, Lazada, TikTok Shop. I'll be sure to link the links down below. So if you guys want direct access to these discounts for the smartphone, it's already only 399 ringgit, but if you want it much cheaper, there will be links down below where you can get these promotions. But anyway, this is how the box looks like. It's a very striking red color and I really like this. Like, to me, this really stands out and makes it feel like I'm getting something really expensive. Now on the box, they highlight that you'll be getting a 128 gigs of storage, and that's usually not enough when it comes to someone like me who takes a lot of photos, videos. So 128 gigs on a smartphone in 2025, I personally think that's too low. They should start with at least 256 gigs, which, to be honest, by the time you download all your apps and stuff, half the storage is already full. So 128 gigs, really, Nubia? That's a bit too low. I'm hoping in the future you'll be able to offer us a little bit more. I know the price is really cheap for the smartphone and it may be too much to expect 256 gigs in something as budget friendly as this, but really 128 gigs, it's barely gonna get me through a few months. Now what I do like is Nubia has included 12 gigs of RAM in something this cheap. Now 12 gigs, you're getting 6 gigs of RAM and 6 extra gigs of virtual memory RAM. And that's actually pretty decent for something of this price point. 399 ringgit, you're getting 12 gigs of RAM. What this will eventually do is will make your entire process of using the smartphone much more smoother. And I think you guys will find it much more seamless when you're switching between apps, opening, closing apps, scrolling through apps. Things will just load much faster. And even at a price point of 399 ringgit to get something like this with 12 gigs of RAM, this was not possible before. So yeah, great job on that, Nubia. But once again, storage, we need much more storage. Now on top of the box, you also have this AI sticker, and this is basically Nubia highlighting their latest Nubia AI system. But first, let me unbox this for you guys. Now inside the box, the first thing you'll get is the smartphone itself. And Nubia is really thoughtful to even include a transparent silicone casing in the box for free. And then you'll have your manuals. This is a 22.5 watt adapter, so you're getting pretty fast charging with this smartphone as well. And of course, they've included a Type-C cable as well. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is the design of this smartphone itself. This is a beautiful smartphone. It gives me the element of a very premium flagship smartphone, especially with this huge camera bump in the back here. Nubia is giving us two colors. You're getting a grey and this really weird green that I'm not a fan of, but I'm pretty sure there are some people who will love this color. It's just not for me. Now for the screen, we are getting a 6.9-inch display. It's a pretty clear screen, and thanks to its 120 Hz refresh rate, I'm not sure if you guys can see in the video, but this phone is really smooth to use. And even the chin on the bottom, this is really from the year 2018. It's definitely not a future-proof design. Now, because this is a budget smartphone, I don't really mind the extra huge bezels that we're getting on this smartphone, because even the notch up here, this is not something brands are doing anymore these days. But for 399 ringgit, you can't expect too much. As long as the quality of the screen is sharp, it gives you excellent viewing pleasure for your shows, YouTube videos. I think that's really all you should expect. Now, I'm not gonna test this, but the second thing that Nubia have claimed is that this smartphone is really durable. And from my knockings and feelings of this smartphone, I can actually tell you that this is a really sturdy, durable body of the smartphone. This is really solid. It's not a very cheap plastic-ish back panel that you usually get with other smartphones. This is definitely much tougher, and it's good to see because for 399 ringgit, most manufacturers will not give us anything close to this. But yeah, Nubia claims this smartphone can be dropped from 1.5 meters, which is probably the height of here. You guys can't see, but it's from that height. And they do claim that even if it drops, it will not be an issue. I'm gonna believe them since they're able to make a statement like this. I'm definitely not gonna be dropping this on a drop test. If Nubia claims that this smartphone can be dropped from 1.5 meters, we'll take their word for it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the camera system of this smartphone. Now, this smartphone comes with a 50 megapixel main camera. Now, 50 megapixels would be great on flagship smartphones because they have better sensors that's able to capture the data much more accurately. But on something this cheap, you can put a 100 megapixel camera in here and the sensor is just not going to be good enough to capture every single detail that the lens is seeing. I hope you guys understand that, but what I'm basically trying to say is 50 megapixels on a cheap phone is not going to be as good as 50 megapixels on, let's say, an iPhone. However, here are some photos that I can attach on screen for you guys to take a look, and this would be the quality you can expect with the camera on this smartphone. Definitely nowhere being a good camera, but it's there, it's able to take photos good enough to capture memories that you may need to capture. But I'm definitely not looking at the smartphone if I'm trying to capture lots of high quality photos for social media or even work. As for the video, you'll be able to go up to full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second. That's a standard recording format that you'll get in smartphones that cost this much. Definitely not the best video quality as well, but hey, 399 ringgit. This is pretty good that you have it there. Now, the next thing that I think a lot of people who are looking at this smartphone will want to know about is the battery life. Now, I had to use this smartphone so I can learn about it and share it with you guys. I did use it for an entire day. Now, after using it for an entire day, there was still 30% of battery left, 30 plus, which is super impressive because the battery in here is 6,000 milliamps. That's probably the largest battery I've seen in any smartphone, and to get a battery that big on a smartphone that costs 399 ringgit, Nubia is definitely giving you really good battery life for really cheap. Like I said, from my full day of usage, it drained 70% of the battery. There was 30+% left. So I'm guessing the battery life is somewhere between 1 to 1.5 days. And that's with heavy usage because I'm always on social media. So if you need a really long battery life, I think this smartphone will get the job done. And Nubia also claims that the battery lifespan of the battery that's in this device can last for more than 4 years. So for 4 years, you wouldn't be needing to change the battery or swap it out or anything like that. It will get the job done at 100% battery capacity for more than 4 years. Now, the next thing that Nubia has somehow covered in the smartphone this cheap is they've made it water resistant. Now, it's an IP54 water resistant rating. So if it gets subjected to like splashes from the pool or even heavy rain, like if you're using this and it starts raining and your phone gets soaked through the rain, as long as it's not submerged into a pool or something, if it's just like rain on it, I think it's a pretty good deal. Because people who are looking at this smartphone, there may be some of you who are doing Grab, Food Panda, and you may want a smartphone that's weather resistant, weatherproof, right? Because Malaysia, it rains. It's great to see that Nubia has somehow made this water resistant IP54. Now, in terms of viewing content and things like that on this smartphone, I think you're gonna get a very good experience because the screen is super nice. Now, unfortunately, this is something you shouldn't expect in a phone this cheap, but you're only getting one set of speakers at the bottom, so you don't get the whole 3D experience while using the smartphone in terms of audio quality. But it doesn't matter because the speakers are pretty loud and I'm able to hear everything that I'm watching. But yeah, it's definitely suitable if you want to use this to watch videos, watch movies. It's a great screen to watch content on. Now, when it comes to those of you who are looking to buy this for gaming, let me just tell you, don't. It's gonna run simple games like Candy Crush and stuff, but this is in no way a gaming smartphone, and it's not going to be supporting any game that requires any sort of graphical intensive graphics. The most that you'll probably be able to run on this is games like Jungle Run, Candy Crush, Subway Surfers. These are the kind of games you can expect to run on this, but do not expect games like Mobile Legends. It's not gonna run. Genshin Impact, never in a million years. So it's a good smartphone for anyone who's using this on a daily basis for your daily tasks like scrolling social media, texting your friends, calling, watching YouTube, Netflix, a few movies here and there. It's a fantastic, cheap smartphone for getting those stuff done. Basically, anything except gaming. Even the camera, like I said, it's not the best camera, but you can still take photos, you can still take videos, that's fine. But gaming, just don't buy this smartphone for gaming. Let me just save you the money. If you are looking for a smartphone for gaming, there are better options that are at the price of 599 ringgit that will give you much more power and be able to run games like Mobile Legends, PUBG, even at a lower frame rate, but it's there, the option is there. This one is not gonna get the job done. Let me make that very clear to you guys. Alright, so that's it. That is the ZTE Nubia V70 Max, which is a budget smartphone that you can get for 399 ringgit. Like I said, the promotions and everything, I will link them down below. You will be able to find it much cheaper than 399 ringgit. So if you want a budget smartphone, if you just need a smartphone to get your daily social media updates done, scrolling through YouTube Shorts. Basically, you're not a heavy user of the smartphone where you need to edit videos or take 4K content or play games. Anything besides that, this is a fantastic budget 399 ringgit smartphone that you can buy from ZTE Nubia V. This is the V70 Max. Like I said, all the links are down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this smartphone that you guys want me to answer. Maybe you're not sure, there's some things bugging you before making the purchase. Do ask me down below. I will reply you really honestly what I think about this. But yeah guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.